Hello there, Mr. Del Pazzo here with another drawing video for you. Today we're going to draw a character from an illustrator by the name of Rob Biddulph. Writes children's books and he's an illustrator, which means he draws pictures of cute little characters like this. It's a cute little mouse, and we're going to draw our little friend right here today. So you need a piece of paper, you're going to need a pencil, you need an eraser. We're going to draw this very cute little mouse. Doesn't really matter which way you turn your paper, vertical or horizontal. Our little friend is just about the same size both ways. Make sure you draw lightly. Pause and rewind the video as much as you need to. And let's get started. I'm going to start right about, you don't have to make a dot there, but I'm going to start right about in the middle of my paper. This is actually going to be the corner of his mouth. He's got like a little smile that curls up. So I'm going to go down before I go over. So what I'm going to do is draw the whole nose and body, which is almost the entire mouse. And then we'll fill in all the little parts. So I'm going to start right in the middle of my paper. And I'm going to go down and over on a nice curve. Down and over, just like that. Just so you know, that's his smile. So if you want a bigger smile, you make a bigger curve. You want him sad, curve it down. I'm going to go over. He's got a big old nose. Straight over. And then pretty much where you want to, start to curve up. And then I'm going to go straight up. I guess it's a little bit longer this way than it is that way. If you're looking to judge it, whether you made that line long enough, I would say the vertical is a little bit shorter than the horizontal. Now, even though this is a curve and this is a curve, up here, which is the point of his nose, is not going to be a curve. We're just going to go straight over, so it's going to be pointy right there. So we're going to go straight over. We're going to cross. We're going to go past where our mouth is. Okay, and right once we pass where the mouth is, which would be right about there, then I'm going to start to curve around. I'm going to start to head down. Okay. Going to go straight down. I don't need a lot of room. He's got little tiny feet. You got little tiny feet, little tiny legs. So I don't need a lot of room at the bottom. So you can see what we did so far. Right here we went down, over, up, over, and then curl down. And then we're going to go right up and do the whole body. Okay. So I don't need a lot of room. Once I make that little curve right there and I'm starting to go horizontal, I'm going to stop and make his legs, and then I will just continue on. His legs are going to be right about in the middle of this shape. So my other shape's going to be right about here. You know what? Nah, we'll do the legs first. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start up inside the body a little bit. I'm going to go down, touch that line. Get as close to the bottom of the paper as you want. Straight down, straight over. So you can see little tiny legs, little tiny feet. And then I'm going to curl up and over, That's his little foot. And then I'm going to go straight up into the body and stop where that other side is. Pretty much the same place. Okay. I'm going to give him a couple little toes, little curved line down to the bottom. A little small, but you can see it. Now I'm going to hop over this leg, and I'm going to continue with his body. Go over a little more, then start to curl up, and I'm going to finish pretty much at the end of his smile. His smile starts here, curls down, then once it gets flat, right about there, you can see it's kind of like a bubble letter R, kind of, up, lowercase r. I have my body a little wider than the nose, but in the photograph, he actually has it about the same size. So if you want to make the nose wider, you can. Since I finished my body right here, I'm going to add the other foot, which is on the other side. So all I'm going to do is just go straight down a little bit. I'm not going to touch the first foot. And then I'm going to curve around and go not quite as low as the first foot. So when I come over, I'm actually going to touch that front foot. The front foot is going to be longer and it's going to be lower. And I'll give a one or two toe. I guess I could give him two little toes right there, just like the first foot. Notice there's little tiny feet. Okay. So the biggest part, I'm going to give him, he's got a big eye, very, very large eye, big circle. So I'm going to fill almost this whole space I have right here, from the mouth to the corner of the head, from there to there. I'm going to make a nice big circle right here. If you want to trace something, so you have a perfect circle, you have something that fits in there perfect, I'm going to have to freehand it. Circle. It's pretty close to the mouth. Maybe I'll erase a little bit. I have a little room up here because I am going to put an eyebrow and eyelashes. So we don't want to go all the way to the head. I said fill it up. Maybe you shouldn't fill it up so much. I'll leave a little bit of room. And then we've got the pupil. The smaller the pupil, the more surprised he'll look. So that's up to you. I'm going to leave a little circle inside the pupil for a reflection. You can do that if you want. I'm going to color mine in because I'm using a black marker. You don't have a black marker yet. You could trace it later. But for now, you can draw the pupil. So you draw a real big circle, small circle, teeny circle. Big, small, and extra small. Then we have an eyebrow, which is right up here. And then we've got some eyelashes right here on the back of the eye. I'm going to put 4. You can put more or less. Up to you. I think my eyebrow might be a little bit too big. That looks pretty good. That looks better. Now I'm going to come up and do the nose. That whole little corner is the nose. So all I'm going to do is start a line right here, curve down, and touch the other side. So it's pretty much the same size on the top and the side. You're just making like part of a circle. He's a mouse. She's going to have whiskers. So we're going to draw 3 whiskers right here. 1, 2, 3. They don't touch the nose. You can touch the nose if you want. And then we've got 3 little whiskers on the other side. 1, 2, 3. Right there. Starting to look like a mouse. Sort of, kind of. And then his belly is a lighter color. So what we're going to do is start maybe about, I would say, halfway from the top of the belly, the top of the body to the bottom of the body, maybe right about there, about halfway. And we're going to just go over and curve and then go down. So it comes really close to that leg right there. Really close to the leg. His arm is like really, really simple. We're going to start pretty much right over here on the side of the belly, and it just goes down, around, and up. Now, Mr. Rob Bidelf did not put any paws, I don't think, on that paw. But let's just see how that looks. I usually look at my iPad to see how it's going to look. Why not? You don't have to do those 2 little lines on the paw. I think I'm going to leave them there. Looks pretty good. Now, he can't be a mouse without big old ears, right? So we're going to make, once again, we're going to make a nice big circle. It's actually probably going to be about maybe a little bit bigger than this eye. So if you're good at drawing circles, freehand it. If you're not good at drawing circles, you can find something to trace. But it's going to be a big old circle, and it's going to go right on the corner of his head. It looks to me like it's a complete circle. It doesn't just stick to the head. You're drawing a whole circle, and the circle's going to just barely touch his head. So let's see if I can draw a nice big circle. I would say right about here. Ooh, it doesn't look like a circle. It's like somebody let the air out of my circle. Let's see, maybe I should try by going on this side. Let's see. Okay, that's better. That looks better. Not the best circle I've ever made. It's been a long week. Now I'm going to make another circle. You know Mr. Opazo can't leave that if it doesn't look good. That's much better. Now I'm going to make another circle right inside there. It's going to sort of be close to the outside. And you can see that ear just barely touches his head. Right? It just barely touches him. Oh, now, we've got another ear on the other side. So I'm going to start that. We can see some of it. It just probably about at the top of this circle. Going to peek out. And then just touches the head. So you're going from the top of the circle here, up around, and then it's going to touch his head. And that's the ear that's on the other side. And got another lumpy circle. I can't see what I'm doing. That looks a little better. Now this one we're not going to draw another circle because the inside of his ear is on the other side. We can't see it. And if we can't see it, we don't draw it. Now it's starting to look like a mouse. What are we missing? Of course. That could be a mouse on the tail. Now, I love this tail that's on this mouse over here. It's a very curvy, crazy tail. So I'm going to start right back here. Right back here where the tail comes out of. And it kind of goes out and up and down and curls around. Very crazy curly tail. So it looks like, of course, he's using a much thicker pen than I am. You can make the tail thick in some areas, thin in some others, if you want. That's a great tail. That looks really good on him. Now, he looks hungry to me, or she. So I think we should make maybe a piece of cheese. I think maybe we should make him something to eat. So let's put a nice big wedge of cheese here, or a nice big wedge of Swiss cheese. So anywhere over here, we're just going to draw straight line down, and then straight over, and then down, and part of the way down I'm going to make a little scoop, a little chunk out of our Swiss cheese, because Swiss cheese has holes in it. So I'm going to make a little line there, and you can make other holes. Right? We can make one on the bottom too, if you want. And now to try to make it look 3D, what we're going to do, going to start over in this corner. I'm going to go up a little bit and a little bit past my first piece of cheese. Then I'm going to go down. I'm not going to go all the way to the bottom. I'm going to finish up a little bit so that I can make this line go on a slant down to that corner. And then up here, I'm going to attach these two corners so that now we look like we have a little wedge, little triangle wedge of cheese. And because it's Swiss cheese, now you don't have to color them in yet. You're probably just going to want to draw maybe some circles. Okay. Can make as many or as few as you want. I'm going to color mine in. I've got my black marker. Okay. Then we're going to want to make the ground just so he's not floating. So somewhere and if he's outside, you can make him standing in the grass, wherever he is, I don't know. Or maybe he's in your house, and you can draw a picture on the wall behind him, so you can decide where he is. Maybe he's in the house, maybe he's in the kitchen, maybe he's outside, I don't know. And I believe, now, you can color him however you want. This mouse is brown with a white belly or a tan belly. Pink inside the ear, brown outside, and then brown on that back ear. And it looks like he's got a pink nose. Swiss cheese is usually a yellowish color, but you can really make him whatever color you want. And get creative with the background. So, week 1, gonna draw him. And then next week, trace him if you want. You don't have to, but if you want to trace it, you certainly can. And then color him in however you want. So week 1, draw it. Week 2, color. And make sure you send him in, because I definitely want to see what he looks like. I want to check him out. Never drawn him before, so it's the first time. I think I made my nose a little bit skinny. You can make yours wider if you want. But I think he looks okay. Or she. I don't know. Cute little mouse. Okay, guys. I will see you later. Bye.